Hello, today we are going to install KDE Plasma 6 on top of OpenBSD current. So this is the way I got to this blog post, searched for OpenBSD KDE blog. I got to Rafael Sadowski's website, rsadowski.de. In here it says that in OpenBSD 7.5, which is the current public release of OpenBSD, there is KDE Plasma version 5. And in OpenBSD current, there's KDE Plasma 6. So we're going to install OpenBSD 7.5 in a virtual machine, QEMU Virt Manager, then convert that to OpenBSD current, then install the KDE Plasma packages there for KDE Plasma 6. Let's do that. So OpenBSD 7.5. This is the install instructions for AMD64. Let's go to the parent directory. In here, the largest file that we have is install75.iso, which I have downloaded. Let's now create a virtual machine. File, new virtual machine, forward, browse, install75.iso. It determines that it's OpenBSD 7.5 for the virtual machine template. Let's make the virtual machine very beefy. OpenBSD 75, customize. And unfortunately, inside Virt Manager, the template for OpenBSD is not perfect. I will modify the virtual machine to use newer technology. So BIOS, the newer motherboard. I only have one hardware CPU socket. VirtIO for hard disk. CD-ROM SATA. Network interface card VirtIO. And tablet. We can begin installation. It's creating the virtual machine hard disk, and it's going to boot from the ISO. And then it's going to offer me to start the OpenBSD installer. In here it says, welcome to OpenBSD installation program. Do you want to install? Yes. Uppercase I. I'm going to use the default keyboard layout. System host name 75. Network interface card, the VirtIO1. IPv4 DHCP. IPv6, no IPv6, please. No other network interface cards. Password for the root account. Start OpenSSH by default, yes. Start, do we want a next server? Yes. Do we want the desktop manager? Yes. Change the default console? No. Set up a user? Username? Password? Allow root SSH login? No. America, Los Angeles, okay. SD0. No encryption for the virtual hard disk. It's a virtual machine. Nobody's going to do anything to it. Whole disk MBR or GPT. Let's go with MBR this time. So whole, which is the default value. It suggests a complicated partition scheme by default, which we'll leave as is. So 200 gigabytes for the virtual hard disk, 110 gigabytes for /home, 20 gigabytes for USR, and 24 for /var. 10 gigabytes for the swap partition. Hopefully, the /USR local is large enough. Auto layout. Where are the sets on the CD? We install all of the sets. Continue without verification. It's installing the sets. Okay, now it asks if I want additional sets, then all of the ones that exist on the CD-ROM. No, I don't need any additional ones. I'm not sure why I needed to press enter twice there. So it's using SMP, symmetrical multiprocessing, BSD.MP kernel image instead of the BSD kernel image. And now the installer has finished. The option that we want here is to reboot. And since the installer has installed and enabled the OpenSSH server, we can ignore the virtualization software's console. This guy, graphical console spice. And we can connect to the virtual machine using an SSH client. Let's get the IP address of the virtual machine. It ends with 70. Let's connect to the virtual machine. Okay. It complains that I already had a virtual machine previously with the IP address ending in .70. And I could connect to the virtual machine. The virtual machine has booted in graphical user interface mode because we have selected during the installer that Xeno DM, the default desktop manager, to be running by default. Okay, let's get to my notes and let's look at the ones from the blog. Okay, so I could connect using SSH. Can I become super user? Can. Let's enable the technology that's similar to sudo, which is called doas, which is done like this. Let's test doas. Right now I'm the user administrator. I was the user root here and here. And now I'm going to switch to the user root using doas. And now I am the user root. Okay, I usually install a minimal number of packages such that I'm comfortable if I'm connected via OpenSSH in terminal user interface mode. So that's the bash command line shell, Midnight Commander, which is the file manager for text user interface mode, and the text. I have searched on Google OpenBSD package search. I got to the website https openbsd.app. In here I have searched for the package KDE-Plasma. The package version is 5.27.10, but if I search on OpenBSD current like this, then the version of KDE Plasma is 6.1.4. So this is KDE Plasma 6, and this is KDE Plasma 5. This is OpenBSD 7.5, the latest one, and this is OpenBSD current. So what we want to do is to install this package, not this package, and we do that by switching to the OpenBSD current. I search for OpenBSD switch to current. I got to this web page, openbsd.org/faq/current.html, and says that I want to run sysupgrade -s. So let's do that. Sysupgrade -s. It's going to take a while and require reboots. It's downloading and installing sets, and these sets are have 7.6 in the name of the file. So the needed sets have been downloaded, installed, and the computer has been restarted. Let's connect to the computer again using SSH. So the procedure says that we should install the package KDE-Plasma, and the correct version will be installed. So like this. I don't know, 1,000 packages need to be downloaded and installed. So it's going to take tens of minutes to download and install. So the packages for KDE-Plasma have been installed successfully. A dependency tree looks like this. At least 1,000 packages have been installed. And now we should have KDE Plasma 6 available, including kwin and some basic applications. Let's try to reboot the virtual machine. How do we do that? Not like this. Yes. Okay. The computer finished rebooting. Let's log in. The default OpenBSD X11 session has started. Let's try to start from here KDE Plasma 6. So USR local bin start Plasma. Let's see if this thing exists. Bin start Plasma. Starting KDE Plasma failed because kwin, the window manager from KDE Plasma, refuses to start, says that another X11 window manager is already running. That window manager seems to be FVWM. I have listed all of the processes and grabbed by WM. I'm looking at the readme for the meta package KDE Plasma. In here it says that if we want to start KDE Plasma 6 automatically when we log in through xenodm, we need to edit the file ~/.xsession, and the content should be this one, which is this content. So this is what I have done. I have used the editor mg, which is similar to Emacs. I have created a file ~/.xsession. Let's connect back. And I have pasted this block. So it says the environment variable xdg runtime dir. Qt force stdr logging is just for logging purposes, nothing vital. xdg current desktop KD, desktop session Plasma. Qt force stdr logging is the exact same thing as this one. I'm not sure why it's twice. And then we use the executable start Plasma -x11, and we write its standard output to a log file, and also the standard error. Ctrl X C, and now when we log in through xenodm, KDE Plasma 6 is loading. Let's see which applications are in here. So Noto fonts, great. What is this? Not sure how to show the depth tree for current, but they should be similar. So fonts, Noto, great. KDE Frameworks version 6. And as applications, let's see what we have in here. So archiving libraries, GTK libraries, Python, Qt, compression libraries, other low-level libraries. Let's search in here. So do we have console? Yes, we do. Do we have Kate? Nope. Do we have kwrite? Nope. Do we have Dolphin? Yes. Do we have system settings? Probably I can see the icon in Okay, it has this strange resolution, which makes it such that when you bump the mouse cursor to the top of the screen, the bottom of the screen cannot be seen, so you cannot see the KDE Plasma panel. Let's see if we can change the resolution. At least now we can see the entire screen at once without scrolling. Okay, so let's see what we have in here. We have Dolphin, the file manager. We have system settings, the settings application. We're running X11, not Wayland by default. VLC media player is installed by default, but and console. Okay, let's favorite some of these applications. So console, add to favorites. Let's install some additional applications. So do as su package add kit Crusader. Okay, it will take some time. I want kit because I want a text editor, and the Crusader because this is the file manager that I use instead of Dolphin. I use the twin pane file manager Crusader. But Crusader was not ported to Qt 6, so it will pull many KDE frameworks version 5 and Qt 5, etc. So it will take a while for the installation to finish. That was unusually fast. Let's see if we have Kit in here. Let's add to favorites. Crusader. It's in here. Let's pin it to the task manager. Let's remove the App Store KDE Plasma Discover from the task manager, which is the panel of KDE Plasma. We don't need this any longer. And because we've used xenodm and .xsession, we have this xconsole for the log. This uses the wrong theme. It uses what's this? Oxygen, not breeze. Let's go very fast through this configuration step. Your editor /usr /local /bin /kit. When KDE Plasma desktop will lock the screen, there's no possibility to unlock the screen, and the message the screen locker is broken and unlocking is not possible. Console kit or login D is needed is shown. So one of the first things that you need to do is in system settings, you want to disable screen locking. which is lock screen automatically never. Because in QEMU I cannot easily change the screen resolution, I cannot change it to half of my screen or to 1080p, for instance. I want to install the VNC server Tiger VNC, and then I'm going to connect to the virtual machine using a VNC client. So let's do that. This part. First of all, I want to disconnect from the KDE Plasma session. Connect via SSH. Install the VNC server. Which is this guy. You can do as even if you're the user root. And now we're going to start the VNC server in foreground mode. When we start the first time the VNC server, a first run wizard will run, which is this one, which says that a password will be configured and the password needs to be at least 6 characters long. So would you like to enter a view only password? No. And now I'm going to connect from my host machine, the one that hosts the virtual machine. I'm going to connect to the virtual machine. And this is the way I'm going to do it. So VNC viewer, the IPv4 address of the virtual machine. And then the screen one. Because I did not specify what type of configuration should be started, when the VNC server starts, it will start an X11 session, and it's going to start the default OpenBSD X11 session, which uses FVVM. This is why we want to configure for the current user, for the user administrator, that when the VNC server starts the X server session, it should start the KDE Plasma 6 X11 session. How do we exit from here? We can close the VNC server because it's running in the foreground, so Control C. And we're going to do it like this. When the VNC server has started, it has created this hidden directory in the home directory, tilde/.vnc. So let's edit the configuration file X startup. First of all, we're going to make a backup of it. We saw that this content for the tilde/.accession file works correctly. So I'm going to guess it's going to work correctly for the X server that runs inside the VNC server also. Control XS, Control XC. and we'll make it executable. We start the VNC server again. And now when we connect with the VNC client, instead of the default OpenBSD X11 session with FVWM, it should start a X11 session with KDE Plasma 6, which it does. And in this case, we can resize the VNC client window as we want. This will tell KDE Plasma 6 inside of the OpenBSD virtual machine to resize to this resolution, which is a very strange resolution. We can see this thing. So it's 995 by 1260. And as we resize the VNC client window, the same thing will happen. KDE Plasma will resize. This time it's half of 1080p without the bottom KDE Plasma panel. So 960, which is half of 1920, and 1008, which is 1080 minus 72, which probably 72 is the height of the KDE Plasma panel. And also plus the height of the title bar of the Tiger VNC client window. This way we could even not install a web browser at all inside of the OpenBSD virtual machine, and we're going to use the web browser on the host machine instead, because hopefully copy paste of text works. Let's prove that. It does from the host to the guest, or from the VNC client to the VNC server. And now the other way around, from the VNC server to the VNC client, it does. So no need to install the VNC, web browser inside of the virtual machine. Maybe the virtual machine doesn't have enough RAM to run your web browser. Maybe the web browser in your host machine is better configured, has the web browser additions that you want, has the correct website accounts, history, etc. So we have a OpenBSD virtual machine running KDE Plasma 6. This is the KDE Plasma 6 desktop. This is the start menu. This is the favorites. I'm not sure why it's showing Kate twice. We've installed just a very limited number of packages. KDE-Plasma doesn't even ship a text editor such as Kate or kwrite. Does ship the basic KDE Plasma packages, so the system settings, the info center console, menu editor, Dolphin file manager. And additionally, I have installed Kate, the text editor, and this application Crusader, a file manager. When I've installed Kate, kwrite was also installed. When I've installed the Tiger VNC server, also the Tiger VNC client application has been installed. This connection via VNC is really snappy, responsive. Next steps would be to do whatever you do on any Linux machine. So in my case, development, I would install the C++ compilers toolchains. I would install the Git command line and graphical user interface applications. I would start building KDE software probably using KDE src-build. I would replace KSH with bash, both for the administrator user and for the root user. I would install the rest of the software that I want when I do development, such as the meld difference viewer. So Crusader is using a totally different theme, not Breeze, but Oxygen. Breeze is used by Qt 6, KDE 6 applications, whereas Crusader is a Qt 5 applications and it uses Oxygen. Maybe the Breeze package wasn't built with support for both Qt 5 and Qt 6 at the same time. The embedded terminal is also missing, so you need to install console using Qt 5 or the console part for Qt 5, which I'm not sure it is available for OpenBSD.